You know, lately I've seen a lot of videos about how Mortal Kombat 1 isn't really good. I didn't buy Mortal Kombat 1 myself, and I don't even want to. But in truth, a fundamental change took place in the world of Mortal Kombat after Kronika, and this affects mobile games also in a different way. And of course, although there is an in-game story of why things turned out the way they did, the truth is that the reason for the change is our real world. Then let's get into it. Mortal Kombat is fundamentally different before Kronika. We knew about Mortal Kombat that it is a tournament, by winning which the lords of different realms get permission to unite two realms. Actually, I could go into details like this for hours, but I'll refrain from that. I'm trying to focus on the essence. The point is that the Mortal Kombat fight was very fair and correct. Okay, except for the last two boss opponents who, as we now know, Kronika reinforced so that we wouldn't win. But anyway, the whole thing was about the fact that the battle should be decided entirely by your fighting skill. In other fighting games, you can say why the heck is it, say, Superman getting knocked down by a common man with a baseball bat, that it makes no sense. In the world of Mortal Kombat, however, the battle is overseen by the Elder Gods. A single strong or lucky blow cannot decide. Even if you suffer such a blow, you will immediately heal, so they can break your spine for example, the next second you're fine. In fact, even if you are a god, you can die in the fight and a mortal can be better than you.
Liu Kang wins.
The playing field is level, any character can defeat anyone, even gods. The bottom line, be a talented fighter. After Kronika, however, all that changed, but how so? Was dictated by the real world. It was dictated by the real world. The production company wants money. A lot. And this requires a lot of stuff that changes the balance of power in the fight, and of course, the player has to buy it, or fight for it for years, or both. So Kronika came and because of her the Elder Gods disappeared from the scene, then she herself, who wanted balance, died and disappeared forever. Now, in Mortal Kombat 11, the many things that changed the game already there. It seems that even though the Elder Gods are dead, the institution of Mortal Kombat continues to exist as it was created and must still be played and there is still power behind it, even gods can die under it, but one thing is no longer there, it no longer has to be fair. Already in Mortal Kombat 11, you could get different crystals and so many other things that you could modify the fight to make it not even close to fair. You could recharge your life, become much stronger and so much more. And of course your opponent could also cheat. It decides who cheats better, not who is the better fighter. I see Mortal Kombat 1 also has these crystals and stuff that help you beat anyone super easy. Hopefully they will ban them in online matches, but in the other game modes in Mortal Kombat 11 you could use them, even in traditional towers. In other words, PC gaming has become such that they help you win. Always. Lots of different stuff to help you cheat so that even if you're not very talented, you can still win. As for the mobile game, you can say the exact opposite. Mortal Kombat Mobile is a very expensive entertainment, a barely developed character can be more expensive than the full PC game. But once again, don't we get too carried away. This is also a world after Kronika. You have to build your character in several ways, it's a lot of money or time, or both. But now I want to talk about a situation where, say, you've been playing for years, you spend money on the game, you have many different maximum characters with different abilities. And you choose to play those towers that are not permanent like Lin Kuei Tower, Shrai Ryu Tower, Elder Wind Tower, White Lotus Tower and many others like that. Each of them has a separate set of cards that give abilities that work only within the framework of the tower, but some can be used in all other modes as well. Now, I'd like to talk about how this all evolved into something that many may say the game is unplayable and they'd be right. In the beginning, there were only a few temporary towers and I personally did not use their cards in other ways. However, as time went on, interesting extra things were invented that add a bit of difficulty or ease to the game, depending on whether you have such a card. I would like to note that in the past, I received even epic cards several times during normal play. But this is not happening for years, there is probably no chance for that anymore. So the creators added some extra things to the game that changed the balance of things just a little bit. But then the moment came when they discovered the regeneration of health. In the beginning, this is just a small inconvenience, because, say, a character's health is restored by 10%. But then things happened where the enemy's entire health was restored. And the really unpleasant thing here was the boss fights. But okay, it's annoyingly difficult, but we'll solve it because we're experienced players. But then came the thing where the entire health of the enemy boss team is restored due to various things. You can be just one stroke away from victory, but then full life comes back to your enemy. Unpleasant, very unpleasant. And it can be instant, but even the slower version is now such that it recharges more life in 1 second than your super attack would be able to inflict on it. But it's okay, because let's say you're an experienced player and you have or will soon have a character with a special ability that helps you. However, the developers have come up with another great invention: even if you kill the character, he will still be alive. In more ways than one. But don't worry, because you will have a character that can create the death mark, which makes it impossible for the characters to revive. But imagine now there is something that this does not affect. The enemy will still be alive. You would think that at least he wouldn't be able to escape using the snare special ability, but hey, even though its icon appears, it should work, but it doesn't. Then you might think, okay, but you have a plan. However, the developers recently came up with another thing: all power gone when you switch between characters. This makes a lot of strategies impossible. But the developers have gone even further. Everything I described above. Plus, let's say if you change characters without any kind of touch, the following happens: 1, or even say 4, your character becomes blind. Your character spontaneously ignites. Your character becomes snail slow. Your character starts bleeding out spontaneously. All of your character's attacks are reflected at 100% for say 10 seconds, and a special attack from the boss enemy is enough to kill your character even with 100% health, and after killing him it activates a safe 50% on the entire enemy team, or even 100% health recharge. And this is only a fraction of what is there to completely exclude you from winning, even if you have many characters with many abilities and special cards up to medium level anyway. The ability doesn't matter. The basic structure of your character doesn't matter, your experience doesn't matter, because the creators think of everything to exclude the success of your tactics. Oh, and a lot of things are just like that. So it's not in the game's change list, and the enemy's cards don't justify it happening either, it just happens. Although the existing, known list is also unpleasant because, for example, it excludes all kinds of dot attacks against the bosses. In other words, while on PC the era of following Kronika brought that anyone can beat anyone, in the mobile version, if you have everything, characters up to maximum level, cards up to medium level, the developers made sure that you absolutely cannot win. Of course, you can find videos of YouTubers who buy the cards, so their life force can go to 1,000,000 and they come up with a special tactic that can work once out of 100 and they put that one successful attack on the net. Next time the developers will come up with a new thing to that won't work either. They are constantly developing in this area. And everything that is happening with the PC version, and even more so with the mobile game version, I understand that many people are not happy. Yes, he will lose.